God, but we're not going to let it destroy our Monday mornings. Oh, no, we're not, because we had a fantastic weekend. I'm telling you, family, we shared the 10 vitamin sprays with people around the coast. Folks are really looking you up now. They're reaching out to you on social media. They've been following you for a while. They've been hearing the testimonies. They said, okay, all right, I'm ready to be a part of Team Effort Network. I am loving what we're doing in this company. We are really, really, really making a difference in people's lives, and it is so much joy involved in that. When you see people's face lighten up and smile and get happy because they know that they're doing something that's making them feel so good, and they want to share that with someone else. So, yes, our number one product, changing people's lives, and that's exactly what it's doing. You know what I feel good about, family, this morning, this weekend? I feel so good when I'm taking these vitamin sprays. When I'm taking the feed boost, I know that I'm giving myself natural energy. I know I'm giving myself something that's good for my body, a supplement that's going to just work along with me, not against me. It's not any chemicals. It's not artificial. It's something that's all natural, and it's good for me. I love when I'm giving myself the vitamin D power. I'm getting that D3 that I need, and it's strengthening me, and it's helping me with all kind of conditions I want you to deal with. Each time I take a spray of that, I am so thankful. I'm so grateful. The same with the Super 10. When I take the Super 10, cleaning that body out, getting the toxins out, the free radicals, knowing that I'm exposed to technology all around, pollution, water, everything that we just exploit ourselves with, we can take that Super 10 and just spray it away. The cell energy, an amazing product. And now the Trim by 10. Oh, boy, I'm telling you, Sam, that Trim by 10, top shelf, as Paul Jackson would say, top shelf. I'm taking my Trim by 10. I'm taking it in moderation because I'm not trying to lose any weight, but I do want the fiber that's in it. I want the nutrition that's in that Trim by 10. So I've taken a half a pack a day, and I'm loving it. I'm just loving giving my body all the nutrition that it needs to be healthy, to be strengthened, to stay strong, to look young, and to, just to be enthusiastic about sharing with others what we're doing at Team Effort Network. We had an awesome team training this weekend. Boy, I'm going to bring in my business partner right here, Pastor Del Way for 2-Star. Are you here with me this morning, sir?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir, loud and clear. I had to mute out, there was some really bad noise in the background, and we couldn't get folks to introduce themselves because I didn't know what that was. So, but I can hear you nice, loud, and clear. How are you this morning?
All right, good. Coming off a great weekend. Great training we had on Saturday there in Lanham. Had some great training with L.A. Anderson and myself and you. Just really getting the nuts and bolts of helping people to grow their business, which is very important. And we had such a great time because you really had people get up and role play, introducing themselves to people and inviting them out. And boy, did you and I learn a lot. There were so many people who couldn't do the script, they couldn't get the script down, and we said, wow, no wonder nobody's coming. We're not inviting anybody. People are, and it was pretty hard to do. It was pretty hard to do because it wasn't something that they were familiar with, even though they've been trained on it before. But keeping a 45-second to a minute script of inviting somebody and staying with the script. And so many times people got carried away with trying to explain the product and trying to explain the business opportunity. Like, you're giving too much. So that was wonderful. It was really wonderful to see the role play takes place. And we're going to do more of that because I think everybody should have a chance to role play how to invite people to a meeting. This is the crux of our business. This is 60% of your business is inviting people to the meeting. So it was really good. So we had a great time. I sold my first box of Trim this weekend. Woo! So that was exciting, and we got a lot of great things are coming out now that we have the Trim and we have the excitement in the air. So we're just looking forward to a lot of new things going on, and really, really excited.
There's excitement in the air, that momentum that Amy Gill speaks about quite often. She always says, well, family, welcome to momentum. This is what it feels like, and it does feel great. And I agree, Pastor Dale, we have got to practice the role playing a lot more on how to invite. That was such an hysterical time at our training, but it was so worth it. And everybody really got a chance to see what they were doing correct and what they were doing incorrect. So very valuable. Well, it's Motivational Monday, and as you all know, we have our wonderful coach that comes on and puts these great tools in our toolbox so we can go to work and continue to share with enthusiasm and excitement what we're doing in Team Up and Network. So let's welcome to the call the one, the only Coach Nikisha Bond. Are you there, my dear?
Woohoo! Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm doing fine. I'm on time.
I love that. Well, let me ask you how you're doing, because we can hear that enthusiasm going on coming on Monday morning.
I wake up with that sparkle. I think that's how you set the day, is when you wake up with that excitement and that enthusiasm and just share it with the world. For us, it's a pretty early call, so you guys are lucky you get me this excited this early in the morning, but it really does set the tone for your day. And we're getting ready for a big event that we're going to have on May 30th, I think, in a couple of weeks. So we're getting very, very excited. I'll have that posted on Facebook this evening.
Wow. Let's talk about that May 30th. What's happening on May 30th?
We're just going to be telling people more about the sprays and just communicating more with the community and outreaching. We got a really great venue at City Hall. So we're going to have a lot of officials coming out just so that they can learn a little bit more about what we have in our hands. Because you know what I was thinking about, Pastor Denise? When you guys were talking a little bit earlier, you know how you were saying, I could feel so much better when I take my vitamin sprays. We've been taking them for so long right now. Sometimes I think you take for granted what good health can give you, because every once in a while my auto ship won't line up and I'll run out of sprays. And I can tell you, I feel it immediately when I get off these sprays. I feel lethargic during the day. I can't focus as well. My mind doesn't click as fast as it normally does. So, I think sometimes we forget about how powerful these sprays are, because you get used to things, right? You get used to not taking these pills. When my kids get sick, it's just like, oh, let me have the green one. They don't even say names anymore. I want the green one and the orange one. And so, sometimes you get used to these things and you forget how powerful they are. So we just want to get out into the community and share that with everyone, because it is really powerful what we have in our hands, not just the business opportunity, but really the opportunity for people to get free in their health. Because I can't tell you how many people I run into, and they're just struggling, Pastor Denise. They are just struggling.
Wow. Well, you know what, Nikisha, that's one of our main missions, is to reach out to those that are struggling and trying to make ends meet, and they're dealing with health difficulties. I remember Bishop Penfield, who was really dealing with a lot of health issues prior to taking the vitamin sprays, and he's a vet, so his income was limited, and he was on, Medicare, medicated. But some of the medications that they wanted him to take, he could not afford the medication. He couldn't even afford the medication. But when he started taking the vitamin D and the B boost, he said what the medication was supposed to have done, the vitamin sprays corrected it. So he didn't need to buy that expensive medication, but the vitamin sprays helped him, and it was a lot more affordable. So, we have something amazing in our hands, and you getting out into the city, Nikisha, like you said, getting out to City Hall, exposing it, letting people know what we have. That's our mission. That's exactly what we need to do. We need to really, make a loud sound in the world in regards to these vitamin sprays. Getting banners, flyers, posters, handouts, gathering your team together, get out there in the eyes and the sight of the community and let them know we have a solution.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of things, this is another good marketing tip. A lot of cities are doing lots of efforts to help with obesity. They're doing lots of efforts to just really help people be more aware of their health. And so this is a great partnership that we have. I'm super excited, and I think everybody should reach out to their city council, because I think you'll be surprised how warm and receptive they'll be. I know a lot of cities are doing weight loss challenges, so that's where your trim and your slim could be a great use, to get into some of those fairs. So this is a great partnership, and I'm super, super, super excited. And I'm super excited about the training we have today. I've got like 2 laptops here, Pastor Denise. I got notes on one and charts on the other. We are about to get down and dirty. Are you ready, Pastor Denise and Pastor Dale?
I'm in position. I have my pen, my pad, my paper, and I'm ready to write.
Okay, perfect. So, Pastor Denise, I'm going to rely on you a little bit for this training because it's not too deep, but I want to have you give an opportunity, and let's just go back and forth and maybe ask some questions of each other because we're going to be talking about self-talk. And I know you do a lot of this in your ministry and with the youth that you work with because it's so important. And I was asking myself, why are words so important? And so I was going back through some of my notes because, I think it's everywhere in everything that we talk about. But these are some of the things that are intangible that we just don't learn about in school. And so, when I first started in this business, I really thought that these were the things that weren't as important, And I think it's because they're free. Usually when things are free, we don't find them as important. We don't see the value in them. But your words, what you say is free, and it doesn't really take any effort to speak positive on your situation or to speak negative on your situation. It's merely what type of habits do you create. But when I was really trying to look in and say, why are words so important? Why should we be so concerned with the things that come out of our mouth? And then I went back to a training on why we do what we do, and I was thinking about our thoughts. Remember how we talked about the paradigms and how you can get stuck in one paradigm, and then all of a sudden this business comes along and your whole world just opens up and it says, look, now you could have this life where you could, take care of your children, where you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. You don't have to have an alarm. You can have money coming in while you're out there traveling the world and doing the things that you love to do. And you get super, super excited. But then that goes into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind says, no. We've been taught that you go to work every day, that you have to struggle, that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, so please dismiss it. And it bounced that idea right back out of our head. And then we come to these calls, and we're sitting here, we're listening to each other, and we're saying, you know what? I love what she's saying. That's exciting. I want that life. I want to do that. I want to be there. And then you go in there, and it goes into your subconscious mind, and your mind says, no. Remember, I told you. All your life we said to go to school, and you did that, and to get a job, and you have one. We've done what we're supposed to do. Stop all that daydreaming about this business and get that out of your mind. But you still want to get that paradigm in. So how do you get an idea into your mind when you've been brought up for many, many years believing one thing? And that's where I realized, aha, this is why words are so important, because you have the ability, ladies and gentlemen, this is freedom for somebody right now. You have the ability to change your circumstances by changing the things that you say about your circumstances. And it's so interesting because you would think that that would be such a small part of business, but it's the biggest part of business, because this is why people who are in impossible situations come out. This is the reason why when nobody thought anybody could run a 4-minute mile, some man did it. And then after that, thousands of people have did it. It's because of the things that they said to themselves, the way that they changed their thoughts, that were in their subconscious mind by the words that they say. So let's expand on that a little bit more. Let's talk about the different levels of self-talk. So there's 5 different levels of self-talk. I don't have a name for them, so we're just going to go on number 1 through 5. So number 1, this is the most negative and frequently used self-talk. It promotes being the victim and lack of control. And so here's some of the common phrases that you'll hear on this level. I can't do anything. Nothing ever works out for me. I'm always late. I'm always this. I'm always on time. Nobody's going to join my business. I'm always going to just do what my dad did or what my mom did. I'm never going to be any better than what I am today. This is the part of the self-talk that most people live in. It's just that negative self-talk. You don't need to take any effort to have negative self-talk. You can turn on the TV and listen to the hordes and hordes of negative self-talk. And basically, it clutters and blocks and destroys our dreams. And we tend to act out our fear and believe the worst about ourselves. Have you ever had a situation come up, Pastor Denise, and it just looked absolutely insane, crazy in your mind? You're never going to be able to accomplish it. But then when you just went and started attacking it, it was like a couple of steps and boom, all of a sudden you saw the rays at the end of the light, and it was so much easier when you just said, I'm just going to take care of that. And it's not going to be a bother. I'm just going to take care of it right now. See, we sit around and we worry about things that we can't do anything about. I think they said that statistically, out of 100 things that you could worry about, maybe only 8 of them are things that you could actually do anything about. Wow, that's a lot of time spent worrying about a lot of things that you don't really have any control over. And that comes from this negative self-talk, where we just start to believe the worst is going to happen, and we say that. Oh, instead you start speaking your situation instead of speaking what you want to be about your situation. I'm broke. I never have any money. I never have this. I can't have a TTP. I don't have any money. I don't have a big enough house. Nobody's going to come to my house. I've already been in network marketing before. No one's going to join this business. This business is just like the same business that I was before. These are all negative self-talks. And ladies and gentlemen, if any of those things that I just said are things that come through your mind or things that you've been saying about your business, we got to get out of this level, ladies and gentlemen. This is a negative level to be in. And you want to decrease this by becoming consciously aware of this negative self-talk. Maybe you need to record it. So here's something that I want you to do. If some of that describes you, I'm not judging you. Don't judge yourself, because here you go. You have a chance to change. That's the great thing about being a human. Isn't that right, Pastor Denise? You can always make a decision to change. That's super, super exciting. And so you want to decrease this by becoming very aware of it. Be aware of the words that are coming out of your mouth. What are you saying about your business? Think about the last time somebody asked you about your business. Hey, Pastor Denise, how's your business going? Are you growing? Are you making that money that you said you were going to make? How do you respond to that when someone asks you? Or when someone asks you, oh, you have a business? Well, how much money are you making in your business? Are you going to say, well, I'm not making any money. I don't have anybody who's joined. Nobody wants to join this business, but the sprays are good, and that's why I'm here. Maybe it'll work out, but maybe it won't. I don't know. I'm not really that invested in it. You know, what are you saying about your business when somebody asks? What are you saying when somebody asks you, how are you doing today? I'm okay. So. Better than dead. You know, what are you saying about yourself? Are you saying, I always say, I'm doing fabulous. I'm having a fantastic day. Even if I'm having a terrible day, it doesn't really matter because I don't let my feelings control my outlook. So I always say the things that I want. And even if I don't, I keep speaking that I always say the things that I want. You see how that works? That's why, you know, whenever you talk to a business person, you'll always find that they speak positive about their business. Even if their business is about to go under. It's not under yet. They're still making money. They still have a little bit of inventory. And so those are the things that we need to think about. So if you're on level one if you are on level one with your self-talk, meaning that you're speaking negative things over your situation, you need to start to become very consciously aware of what you're saying about your situation. But maybe you're at level two. Level two is we recognize the need for change, but we create no solutions. We're stuck in this wishing phase. Now, this is where I think most people who join network marketing are in. It says, I should lose weight, but what you're really saying is, I can't. You say, I need to be more organized, but what you're really saying is, I can't. I want to go talk to more people, but I can't. I want to go and grow my business, but now's not a really good time. And so it's all these things where we want to change. We have the desire to change. We're excited about change. But there's that part in the back of our mind that doesn't really think it's going to happen, so we just leave it at that. Because I want to. I want to grow this business. I want to be a 10-star. I think it would be nice. I would like to lose weight and try the trim, and hopefully the trim will hopefully make me lose weight. This is still negative, right? Because we are unconsciously creating guilt and disappointment because we don't believe that change is possible. That's ultimately what you're saying, is that you don't believe that change is possible. This is also when people use the future tense. I will lose weight one day in the future, maybe someday, kind of, maybe. And it's when you're putting things out there that they're possible, but maybe they're just not possible for you. That's what we need to be very, very aware of, ladies and gentlemen. So what do we do if we're in this phrase of negative thought? We need to decrease it by listening for when we speak words like should or but or consciously or unconsciously. So we just have to be aware of the things that we're saying. So when you're on this negative playing field, there's nothing you can do but be aware and then start to correct your behavior. And maybe you'll start correcting your behavior like being on level 3. So level 3 is recognizing the need to change and making the decision to take action. This is where I think you guys are. You know why I say that? Because you're on this call. You don't have to be on this call. You can be anywhere else right now. But you're on this call because you're ready to grow. You're ready to build. You see the need for change, and you are saying phrases like, I no longer smoke, or I do not have a problem with people at work, or I never eat more than I should. I always go, I talk to people in the business. Oh, what's another one? I no longer am afraid to have a TTP. That's a great self-talk that you're starting because at least you're recognizing the need for change and you're saying things that are going in line with that. So this gives you into the positive. It's giving new directions to the subconscious mind, even if habits do not immediately change. So you're at least recognizing the need and you're starting to move towards that positive phrase. It's still not the best self-talk. We're going to go into number 4 is where we definitely need to be. But this is at least acknowledging that you need to change. And instead of going from just wishing, saying the things that you're going to do to get that change. You see the difference? And all of this stuff is doing is it's starting to reprogram the subconscious subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind has been programmed for years. And if you're saying, who programmed my mind? I don't remember programming my subconscious mind. Then that means that all the influences around you, things that your mom has said, things that people in your family have said, people at work, all the limits that people have had about themselves that they've projected on you have now shaped your subconscious mind. And it's really unfortunate. You know, I always say when I'm talking to my kids, I wish somebody would have told me about this when I was younger, when it would have been so much easier to absorb instead of building up years and years of all this cynical belief and not believing that good things could happen to you, not believing that these businesses could work, not believing that people are actually really successful out there. I wish that somebody would have told me earlier. But you know what that means? That means that we just got more work, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go on to number 4. This is the level where we are really moving into. This is where we need to be. This is the most helpful and the least used level, unfortunately, because it's painting a brand new picture of you. It's bringing all those things into the new programming. So this is really how you're going to kick out that X programming and receive that Y programming that you want. It's saying things, I am strong. I am capable. I am intelligent. I am a 10-star. I am successful in this business. I am a $100,000 a month income earner. Whatever your I am is, there's power in the I am. And we're not going to get into that training because that's a whole nother training. But this is definitely where you guys want to be with your business. This is positive. It clears out all negative programming and replaces it with complete positive programming. This is absolutely where we need to be, ladies and gentlemen, saying the things that we want. Now, here's the reason I believe, Nikisha Bond's personal opinion, that people don't go to this level. It's because, have you ever wanted to say something really good about somebody asks you about your business, and let's say that you're not growing the way that you want to, you're not seeing the income that you had expected. What is your response to people? Do you say, oh, well, you know, I'm struggling? The natural response, because this is the way that we've been brought up, is to say what your business actually is, right? Because people will say, well, but I didn't see you with a Mercedes. Where's your, oh, you say you have a Mercedes? I am a LCQ qualified. Oh, you are? Where's your Mercedes? I didn't get to see you driving around in your Mercedes. Oh, I have it. But where? Oh, I have it. But I don't see it. Yeah, well, I have it. So I don't know why you don't see it, but I have it. So how hard do you push to really push the reality that you believe is to be true? And I think this is the reason why we don't say the self-talk, because that makes you look crazy, right? The outside world would say, you look crazy. I'm looking at you. You don't have a Mercedes, but you keep saying that you're LCQ qualified, but I don't see it, so I don't know why you keep saying that. And that prevents us from speaking the truth that we want to happen in our lives. And this is why people stay on the negative side of self-talk, because we want to say things that are right. I have to be realistic, right? Who said being realistic means anything? That's ridiculous. Reality is what you make it. It's what you speak it. And see, here's the dichotomy, right? Is that we're saying the things that we see so that we can continue to see the things that we see. Not saying the things that we want so that those things can be the things that we see. Man, I'm getting deep in here today. Let me go back to my notes. Okay, so I'm getting deep. Let me go back to my notes. Level 5. So this is the universal transformation. This goes beyond human worries and cares. This is where, this is where you get on Jesus's level, where everything that you say happens. You speak to that fig tree, it dies. Why? Because you spoke to it. That's how powerful this level is. Now, are we going to get to that level? I think we should all be trying to get to this level. This is saying that I am one with the universe and it's one with me. I mean, this gets into a totally deeper training, so we're going to probably leave it at level 4. But basically, this is increased by moving through our 4 leads and then get to the final lead. So this is, once you go through all 4 levels, this is the level that you're going to end up in, when you're only speaking the things that you want to be, and knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt that those things are going to come true for you. So what can we leave with here? Here's some words that I want you guys to take out of your vocabulary. There's 10 words. You ready? I can't. If. Doubt. Try. I don't think. I don't have the time. Oh, I hate that one. I hate that one more than anything. Maybe. I'm afraid of. I don't believe. It's impossible. So here's more. I'm going to say it one more time. I can't. If. Doubt. Try. I don't think. I don't have time. Maybe. I'm afraid of. I don't believe. Or it's impossible. So those are things that you need to remove from your vocabulary, because that keeps you on that negative self-talk. People are always saying, I don't have time. I don't have time. You always have time for the things that you find important. Now, you may be thinking that whatever someone's asking you to do is not important to you, and that's okay, but you always have time for it. And when you say you don't have time, it puts you in the state of always feeling like you never have time. Again, you get the things that you're saying out of your mouth all the time. I see people who say, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, and I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, what are you doing? I don't see you doing anything. What are you so busy? But they keep saying it so much in their mind that it's just their reality. And they spend a lot of time being busy about being busy because they're so busy. They're busy and they're moving pencils back and forth and they're shuffling papers and they're standing up, sitting down, shake, shake, shake. But they're not really producing. They're not really doing anything. But they've convinced themselves that they're busy. And that's the reason why we have to remove phrases like that out of our self-talk, because if you want to have time to do everything that you have to do, a lot of people have to work a full-time job and come home and run their business. If you're always saying you don't have enough time, you're not going to be focused on the things that you need to be prioritizing your time for. Again, getting off topic. Here are the things that you want to add into your vocabulary if you're not already using. So these are power builder words. Ready? I can. I will. That's a powerful one. Expect the best. Commit. This one's really, really important. Whether you're going to do it or whether you're not going to do it, just commit to it, ladies and gentlemen. That is a hard one for people to do nowadays with all the distractions. I know. Number 5. Number 6, I will make the time, right? Because we make the time for things that are important. If this business is important to you, if your dreams are important to you, if success is important to you, you have to make time for it. Number 7, positively. Number 8, I am confident. Number 9, I do believe this will happen. And number 10, one of my favorites, all things are possible. These are such powerful words that we need to incorporate into our lifestyle. And here's the thing. When you first start doing it, this is how you're going to know you need programming. Because this is how I found out I needed lots and lots and lots of programming. Is when you go to speak one of these positive words and fear hits you, that's where you know you got to work on that. Because you're going to feel it instantly. You're going to feel that fear come up and say, that's not really true. And you're like, ooh, I didn't know I had that paradigm sticking in there. Where did you come from? I'm trying to speak these words. Where did that come from? You're going to see it instantly, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to say, somebody's going to ask you about your business. You're going to get the opportunity to speak such positive words over your business. What are you going to say? Check that, because when you see that, you're going to see where your paradigm is. There's freedom in knowing where you are, ladies and gentlemen. There's freedom in that, because now you get the chance to change. A lot of people, this is why they don't become free. They don't acknowledge that they have to change. And when you get into that position where you're like, oh, no, Nikisha, I speak all the positive words. I never say anything negative. I'm always positive in everything that I do. I don't need this training. Okay, fine. Hey, you don't have to take this training. All I'm saying is that when you're confronted in that moment where you got to speak those positive words over your situation, over your health, over your finances, over your business, over your loved ones, what is it that you say? And then that's going to tell you where your paradigm is. And from there, that's where you can start to build and say those power builder words over your situation. And I promise you will start to instantly see some changes. And even though sometimes you're listening to trainings like this and you're saying, well, how come you're not telling me how I can do better at inviting? If you don't believe that you're going to be a good inviter, if you don't speak things about your situation and inviting, it's never going to change. You can have all the great training in the world, and what's going to happen is that moment that you want to go out there and you want to invite, your mind is going to check back with your subconscious and say, do we believe this? And if that subconscious says no, your mouth is going to be shut. You're not going to be able to say anything. Even though you really, really want to, you know exactly what you want to say. And that's why it's so hard for people when you do those type of trainings, because they really, really want to, but they haven't really checked that paradigm, what's preventing them. And when we start to look on these things, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see such explosion, such growth in your business and in your personal development. It's going to be absolutely astonishing. So I wish the best for you. I hope this training is blessed someone. And I'm going to throw it back to you, Pastor Denise and Pastor Dale. I'm right on time. Boom, 8:30.
Simply amazing. Simply amazing, Nikisha Bond. Oh, my goodness. The thing that you said, so true, so true. At the end of our training, Nikisha, that we had Saturday, we asked the reps to write down what they want to write down, 3 things they want to have accomplished within the next 90 days. We said, now, first of all, we asked, how many times have you heard, write your goals down? We asked everyone in the room, how many times have you heard it? They've heard it on the calls. They've heard Mel say it. They've heard Amy say it. Papa Gil. Tammy said, everyone. Nikisha told us. Pastor Dell, everybody say, write your goals down. Then we said, how many of you have done it? Can you believe only 2 hands went up in the room? Only 2 hands went up in the room. Now, Nikisha, tell them this. Now we said, okay, what I want you to do, I want you to write down what you want to have, the 3 things you want to have done in the next 90 days. Nikisha, their face, they cringed. I mean, you should have seen it. It was like, they were like, oh my God, like it hurt them when they heard that word. Explain what that is. When it hurt them to hear that they had to get a pen and paper and write it down. Can you articulate what they went through when they had that moment?
I can't say exactly what they went through when they had that moment, but I can tell you what I went through when I had that moment. It's one of the, it was kind of what I said in the very beginning. A lot of times we know these things, right? And we can know them for so long that we think that we've done them, but we haven't really done them. And so I would say that when you ask people what their goals were, they would say, yeah, I've thought about my goals. I kind of know what I want. But they don't realize the power in putting them down and writing and looking over them every single day and getting them ingrained and getting every vibration in your body focused in the right area. I think that's where a lot of people are missing it. It's because we think that we've done it because it's free, right? It doesn't cost you anything. I mean, for most part, we all have pens and papers or pen or a smartphone that we could write something down. So it doesn't cost you anything. It's free to go and do that. And sometimes we don't put a lot of value on things that are free. When it comes to the mind and really programming your mind to be a successful business person, people are always thinking, that's the last thing I'm going to work on. First, tell me how to do this, how to do this, how to do this. And we spend our lives getting the how-tos because that's how we're taught in school, right? You're not taught to really think in school. You're just taught to memorize things and repeat, memorize and repeat. And so we get into those patterns as adults, just like it's hard to transition out of that employee mindset because you're used to people telling you what to do. Okay, well, I've done this. Now, what am I supposed to do next? And what am I supposed to do next? And when you come into a business like this, it's not just about what you can do, the how. It's about having the mindset to do those things because it's against everything that we were taught to believe. So when you ask people to write down their goals, it's kind of like, well, yeah, write down the goals, but tell me how I'm supposed to do this. That's not important. This is what's important because in an employee mindset, somebody else creates the vision. Somebody else creates the dream. And as an employee, you just execute. And so we get into that habit of just executing. We don't have to worry about the dream, whether the dream is clear, whether it connects with the goals, or, whether what I'm doing really affects the dream. We don't have to think about that. We just have to do the activities, right? And then we're going to get paid at the end of the day. But when you're a business owner, constructing that dream and making sure that everything lines up, so the dream is your vision and then the goals are how everything is going to line up, is the most important that we could do. But again, it's that transition that makes it really, really difficult because a lot of times, even though we are business owners around here, how many people think of themselves as a business owner? How many people speak words and how many people develop themselves as a business owner? I would venture to say that there might be someone on this line who doesn't think that they should go to business seminars because they don't think of themselves as a business owner. You are the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not getting outside training other than this call, really, if you had a multi-million-dollar business in your hand with tons of employees, would you be going out there and getting some additional training so that you could steer the ship in the right direction so that you can cultivate the vision? That's what CEOs do. They spend most of their time explaining the vision and getting everything to line up with the vision. And so that's the part that we have to do. And that's the reason why I think, back to your question, that's the reason why I think people don't make their goals. It's because they forget that that's the most important part of being a CEO is getting that vision and getting everything lined up with that vision, speaking things that line up with that vision, activities that line up with that vision, goals that line up with that vision. Back to you, Pastor Denise.
So I tell you, there's just some really good things to learn. I tell you, you can't get this other than in network marketing. You just cannot self-develop yourself and get these skills and knowledge and wisdom and how to birth your dream vision to reality unless you are exposed to something like Team Network. And write those goals down. One of the things, Keisha, I've felt that they have been stripped of their power for so long. Because when you're working 9 to 5, you've really been stripped of your power, because people are telling you and ruling your life and telling you what to do. Now you're given that power back. So we say, you write down what you want to have done in the next 90 days. Me, I got a choice. I got an option. Yes, you do. And it starts right there. But see, if you never write it down, it doesn't have permission to come to pass. If you don't give it permission to come, it won't come. But anyway, let's bring on Pastor Dell. Pastor Dell, are you here, sir? This is good stuff, Nikisha. I love it because it's so true and it's empowering, and it's something that we need to master in order to grow our business and ourselves. Pastor Joe, are you there, sir? Pastor Joe Wafer? And if you're not...
Sorry, I'm talking on mute there. Yeah. Nikisha Bond, we got to connect. Great training as always. Always missed hearing your voice over the last few months, but always some good, solid information, some good, solid coaching, and anytime you can get Pastor Denise excited, then you got everybody excited.
This is some good stuff to hear. I mean, because everyone. One thing Team F is offering, not only that that lifestyle, but empowerment. You have the ability to do whatever you want to do, but it does start with your word. As hard as that may seem to comprehend, it does start with you speaking it. And I'm telling you, Keisha, when you were speaking the negative word, what not to say, I was over here going, "Oh God, please don't say anymore." I can't even stand to hear them. I don't even like to listen to negative words. But when you were speaking the positive words, I can, I will, I must. That just is so enlightening. It fills you up. It lightens you. So speak positive words because, they just, and they make you lighter. They, even if you don't see how it's going to be done. Another thing we told Nikisha that when you write your goals, because a lot of times people don't write it because they're trying to write it based on what they think they're capable of doing. It's not really based on it's not based on what you are capable of doing because you are not the resource. You're not the source of what's going to get it done. You have to write it whether you see yourself getting it done or not, but you have to believe that it can be done. So don't limit yourself by not writing your big goal, by not writing your big dream, because it's not just going to be based on you alone. It's going to be based on the source of your power. And who is the source of your power? Of course, God Almighty. Don't limit him. You have limitations, but he doesn't. So Keisha, see, you got me started, girl.
Hold on, I just want to say one more thing before we bring on Dr. Anita Poole. I just wanted to say it because this reminded me of it. I think like when you're going into network marketing, it's like the elephant at the circus who has that little string around his leg and it's staked into the ground, and they do it when he's really little, right? When you go to school, they start this institutionalization so that by the time you're older, you get into network marketing, all of a sudden somebody's pulled that string right out of the ground and said, "Hey, you're free to go. You're a big elephant now. You can go out there and fly." But they don't know where to go. They don't know how to get out of that situation. And I think that's why you need all of this personal development when you get into network marketing, because you have people who are transitioning from being institutionalized to now all of a sudden having so much freedom that they don't know where to go with it. And so when you start to have trainings like this really gets your mind focused on where you want it to go. And then once you get your mind there, everything else is going to fall in line.
Yeah, that's so true. That is just so true, family. And this is why we have the Team Effort Lifestyle Call. This is why we have Mr. T, Show Me the Money Call, Nikisha Bond, Monday Morning, Shakina Day, Denise Moore and Vicky Soto, all the great leaders that come to give you these tools. If you would just, apply them and put them to action. When we left training on Saturday, we said, when we're doing invite, how to invite, we said just go practice. Just go out today, right now. Make it your business practice what you just learned. So what if somebody say no? The thing is, the practice where you're comfortable enough to doing it. It's just another level that you're going to grow to and develop in who you are, that you can live this big dream and take advantage of this opportunity that Melanie and Gill have so graciously laid before us. Okay, Nikisha, that's enough now. Leave me alone. So, it's been a great call. A great call, great information. I love it. This is a great way to start your week. Take this information, family. Apply it today. Don't wait till next week. Don't even wait till 12 o'clock noon. Just think about who you want to approach after you get off this call with information that you just learned. What are you going to write down? What goal are you going to write down? What is it that you want to get done? Start right now. There's no better time than the present. Put it into action right now. So let's go out to the UK. Dr. Anita Poole was our quote for the day. Dr. Poole, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me okay, Denise?
Yes, we can. How are you?
I am good. I am good. Great training. Great. Actually, I saw a program recently where they were interviewing some very high achievers, athletes, business people, people from various careers. And, you know, nearly all of them made time to do affirmations, which is exactly what Nikisha's been talking about, you know, positive self-talk, made time for visualization and setting their goals, their focus, and they all achieved because they practiced, they were determined, they were persistent, and they had incremental goals. And each time they achieved each incremental goal, which was all mapped out in a plan, then they rewarded themselves each time. But visualization and affirmation were a key part, and in fact meditation were all a key part of their preparation, as it were. And it's because of the self-talk, which is exactly what Nikisha was talking about. Here in the UK, we've had some incredible headlines. You know, the new government has just come in, and already the healthcare system is talking about striking. The new Prime Minister wants to bring in a 24/7, 7-day a week. And at the moment, on the free NHS, we have at the weekends, things go down a bit. You can't get a local doctor to see you for general practice. There's only accident and emergency. The new Prime Minister is talking about bringing in a 7-day week, which is very contentious because the NHS does not have enough money to do that, basically. So more and more people are going to have to turn to holistic methods. More and more people are going to have to turn to private medicine. Where does that leave us? The TEN sprays, absolutely incredible. People are going to need to look after themselves and take responsibility for their health. In fact, the nurses are even talking about striking if this 7-day a week comes in, because their wages are going to have to go down to pay for a 7-day a week. So, you know, everywhere I see headlines, and I know in the USA, you know, you have a lot of headlines about the state of the healthcare system. In fact, I even read a headline that NASA in the USA is going to be launching a satellite that can actually measure over every single country the CO2 emissions and the methane emissions. Now, why am I mentioning that? Because eventually they'll have satellites, and you know, and this is what it is. It's all about having vision, and it's all about that positive self-talk. Eventually they're going to have satellites that can actually measure the pollution over various places within each country. Even right now, they can see that the cities have higher CO2 and methane emissions. Imagine what's going to happen when they have a satellite that can measure the pollution over places, basically. Where do our TEN sprays come in? We actually have sprays that can help to detoxify pollution. You know, it has toxins in it, basically. And we have sprays that can help to detoxify the body. We don't claim to treat, cure, or prevent any disorders, but we already have people with asthma, with allergies, with toxic illnesses, with bacterial illnesses, viral illnesses, inflammatory illnesses, who have improved taking the TEN sprays. Our Super 10, our Cell Energy, they both contain the highest antioxidants, basically, you know, that the body has. So, and the Trim by 10 can actually help to detoxify by actually detoxifying the gut. So, you know, we're sitting on some really, really big products here. It's all about having a big visions. Ronald Reagan actually said, to grasp and hold a vision. That is the very essence of successful leadership. Not only on the movie set where I learned it, he said, but everywhere. Louis Nezar said, a man's life is colored by the dye of his imagination. So, you know, use your imagination, use your vision, use your affirmation, your positive self-talk to get to the goals you want to achieve. Warren Dennis said, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. So have your vision, positive self-talk, set your goals, and then from your goals, you practice to turn your vision into reality. Lastly, John Scully said, the future belongs to those who see possibilities before they actually become obvious. So you've got to have the vision to see the future and then make the future right now, today, basically. I'm on the video call now, Monday to Friday, straight after the TEI call ends. You can join me at http://join.myvideocall.com. Just click guest, meeting name Anita, all in lowercase. If you've got any questions, you need any training, you just don't know what site to go to, what to send your guest, whatever it is, I can help you. I'll just stay on there for 10 minutes for anyone who wants to pop in, and I'll see you there for anyone who wants to. Bye for now. Back to you, Denise.
Thank you, Dr. Fuller. I'm not sure if I'm understood what Dr. Fuller was just saying, but she's going to be live on using our sister company tools, My Video Talk. So if you have guests or friends or prospects that you want to learn about the 10 vitamin sprays or the 10 by 10, she's going to be doing a live presentation, or actually get your questions answered for you immediately after the call. Is it at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, Anita?
Yeah, I'm on there right now, basically. I'll stay on for 10 minutes.
The call right now. Okay, so family, all you need to do is go online, go to your computer, http://// and then type in, without the www, you don't need that, type in join.myvideotalk.com.
Sorry, Denise,
join. My video.
Okay, join.myvideocall.com. It's all on the TN calendar as well, join.myvideocall.com. I'll be on there every day, just subject to my availability, straight when the TEI call ends.
Wow. Take advantage of that, family. Join.myvideocall.com. Immediately after the morning call, get your guests on whatever questions you have about the sprays or the company. Anita's there to answer them for you. And you get to meet Anita face-to-face if you haven't done so already. The password is Anita. So it's going to ask you for a password, and just type in Anita lowercase, and you'll be online. Thank you, Dr. Poole. Well, family, let's also want to keep Kevin Bond and his family lifted up in prayer. We understand that Kevin's mom has passed over to the other side, so let's please keep Dr. Kevin Bond and his family in prayer this week. Thank you so very much for that. And Pastor Dale, do you have any closing remarks before we end the call for today? And if not, so let's not forget also that Maria will be on the Spanish call this morning. Maria's on the Spanish call at 9:10 Pacific, 12:10 Eastern Standard Time. So we have Spanish-speaking guests. Get on the call with Maria at 9:10 this morning Pacific Standard Time, and it's 12:10 Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to go to the corporate Facebook page, which is Team Effort Network, called Team Effort Network. Like that page so you can get all the wonderful videos and updates and announcements that are coming forth from corporate. And family, be back with us again. Coach Nikisha Bond, thank you again for another powerful Monday. Be back with us again, family, tomorrow morning to hear more great things of what's happening here in Team Effort Network. And don't forget, tell folks about that D-Power, the B-Boost, the Slim by 10, the Super 10, the Star Energy, and the amazing Trim by 10. Get off this phone now. Get out there and tell someone about the great things that you've heard on this call today. And be back tomorrow morning. Know this, you are loved and you are greatly appreciated. God bless you and have a prosperous day on purpose.